My name is Jennifer Bishop-Jenkins, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois, which is in the United States. On April 7th, 1990, in Winnetka, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago, my sister, her husband, and their baby were murdered. And Nancy and Richard were very special to me. My sister Nancy was 25 years old, and she and her husband Richard had been married for 3 years, and they were expecting their first baby. And we were actually out one weekend celebrating my father's birthday. And when they went back to their home, there was a man waiting for them. They walked into their townhouse and where they were living, and there was a man waiting for them. He had broken into the back of their house with through the sliding glass doors in the back, and he was dressed all in black. He had a black trench coat on and black leather gloves and black turtleneck and black pants and shoes. And he had a .357 Magnum, which is a really large handgun. And he took them down into the basement of their townhouse, and he put the gun point blank at the back of my brother-in-law Richard's head and fired, quite literally, blew his brains out. And Nancy collapsed to the basement floor, begging for the life of her unborn child. She actually crossed her arms over her pregnant belly and said, "Please don't kill me, please don't kill my baby," and begged for the life of her baby. And the killer actually pointed the gun directly at her abdomen and fired. He aimed for the baby. And this was quite horrible. Nancy didn't die right away. We know that she lived for about 20 minutes or so. The killer fled, but he left her there bleeding, paralyzed, bleeding to death on the basement floor of their townhouse. And we know that she tried to climb up the stairs and get out. We know that she tried to call for help because a neighbor heard her screaming, but just didn't know, didn't think anything of it and didn't call the police. And we know that Nancy, before she died, actually she drug herself over by her husband with her elbows and got as close as she could to his body, and she left us a message in her blood. She took her hand in her own blood and she drew a heart and a U, love you, and then she died. So her last words were that she loved us, and this was a very powerful thing for me. I mean, for many months afterwards, we did not know who killed them. We did not know who had done this and why. Nancy and Richard did not know the killer. They had no idea who he was or why he was there to kill them. And in all those months, until the actual arrest of the offender, I actually was so much in pain about what her dying moments were like that I just couldn't let myself think about them. We were concentrating on trying to, the funeral and the news media and the investigation of the police, and we didn't, every time I felt in my mind that I was going to think about Nancy's dying moments, I was just like, no, I can't think about it, it's just too painful. But the night of her killer's arrest, they arrested a teenager who lived a couple of blocks away. He had been bragging to friends about how he did this murder and that he did it because he just wanted to see what it would feel like to shoot someone. And he picked them because their townhouse was right across the street from the Winnetka police station, so he could show off, look what he could do under the police's nose and get away with it. And he just walked, his house was right behind the police station, so he walked right through the police station grounds and into their townhouse, and he murdered them just so that he could see what it would feel like to shoot someone, and just so that he could show he could get away with it. He said it was kind of a thrill, it gave him a rush that he had killed them. And Until that night of his arrest, I had not really let myself think about Nancy's dying words of love. It was just too painful for me. But when, for the very first time, a newspaper reporter, a TV reporter, was actually there the night of the arrest and asked us, you know, now that we had this teenager was arrested and we found out that maybe he's too young to get the death penalty, and aren't we worried about that? That was the first time in my life that I actually could let myself think about Nancy's dying words of love. I had to actually think about what that meant. What would we do in the face of, now they had a killer arrested, now we had somebody that we knew was the person that did this, and what were we going to do with him? And that was the moment that I realized that Nancy's message of love was going to forever change me, and that I was going to not be able to do anything but honor the loving person that she was. And so I said at that moment that no, I did not want the killer executed, that to me, the way to honor my beloved sister and the loving person that she was is to live out those dying words of hers, that love is everything. Love is the most important thing to all of us, to all human beings. It's what we live for, and it's what I've been dedicated to ever since her murder. And the forgiveness is really kind of one-sided. So I can say I have forgiven him, the killer, but he has not accepted the forgiveness. He has not asked for the forgiveness. He has not recognized what he has done wrong. He's not admitted it. Well, he sort of plays with admitting it, but then, you know, doesn't officially admit it. In every way, he doesn't get it. He does not get what he has done. And so until he gets it, I don't know if the forgiveness can be complete, because there's no relationship there between me and the killer. I've extended my hand. That's what I believe forgiveness is. I've extended my hand to him. I have written to him, and I've said I'm willing to talk with you. He has not accepted that gift. This is not only my first time to Korea, this is my first time ever to Asia. I've been to Europe, and I've been to Central America, and I've been to Scandinavia, and I've been to many other countries, but I've never been to Asia. I'm proud of you, Koreans, for 5,000 days without executing. You are joining the world of human rights leaders, and I hope that you beat the United States. I hope you beat us to becoming a nation that abolishes the death penalty, and that you will lead Asia, as you always have, to abolish the death penalty and to become the world leader in human rights that I know that you are.